Dream Cruise by Erica Meadows. Many years ago, there was a man named Mr. Ripley. Mr. Ripley was a crude old man who cursed at children and yelled at anyone who was ever close enough to hear him. The only person that had ever put up with him longer than a minute was his wife, Gypsy. One day, when Mr. Ripley and Gypsy were vacationing aboard a Carnival cruise ship, Mr. Ripley unexpectedly went missing. Eventually, after an exhausting 3-minute search, everyone assumed Mr. Ripley had perished and fallen overboard. Unbeknownst to the crew and his wife, he had only fallen into the ship's dinghy and not into the water. But due to the callous nature of Mr. Ripley, nobody really tried too hard to look for him. Day after day, he was tormented by the fact that his screams were going unheard by the passengers because of the loudness of the waves. Finally, on the 5th day, the ship had docked, and a very untidy, haggard-looking Ripley was found. Void of any recollection of his past few days on the tiny boat due to dehydration and exhaustion, he was rushed to the local hospital for tests. There he stayed for the next few days, where he was too hoarse to even speak. When he was finally able to open his mouth, all that came out was slobber. Mr. Ripley's wife, Gypsy, had a controversial idea for the hospital staff when it came to Mr. Ripley's treatment. She asked that while everything be done to save his life, that little be done to save his speech. Fortunately for Miss Gypsy, the hospital staff was all too familiar with Mr. Ripley and was all too happy to oblige.